Doctor Who, Season 13, Episode 1, titled Chapter 1, The Halloween Apocalypse. Now, this episode, of course, is the first episode of the brand new season of Doctor Who, and of course, it's also the first episode of the final season, with brackets, the final season of Joe Wicker as the 13th Doctor. I say in brackets because we all know in 2022, there won't be a season 14, but there'll be 3 specials. There'll be the New Year's Day special, there'll be the Centenary special at the end of the year, and mid-year there'll be another one. So technically we got 3 specials to go after the season's done. But technically this is the final season of Joe Wicker as the 13th Doctor. And I will say this, knowing that this one's a little bit different this season, like they decided to go, okay, we got 6 episodes. Let's do one big story. Let's do a chapter by chapter story. Let's do this versus what normally Doctor Who does, which is one or 2 episode stories, and then we'll move to the next one, and there might be some hints or winks or whatever the final, the final story's gonna be for that said season, like, oh, we mentioned Bad Wolf. Oh, who's Bad Wolf? Oh, what is Bad Wolf? That situation. Or Howard Saxon. We keep hearing about this guy doing Howard Saxon. Oh, by the end of the season, we know Howard Saxon is the master. That situation. But what I will say about this episode, without hitting spoilers, I'm going to just blur spoilers, is that it is fucking fantastic. Now, there's certain things I would have done better. There's certain things I would personally cut out for this time and pace, and just felt maybe a little bit janky in the episode storytelling. And mainly with mostly when we introduce characters, like this is the episode that's pretty much, this is the threat. These are the key players, and also showing how fucking well the introduction quality of this episode is, or what this season's going to be. While watching the opening scene, I was like, first things first, I was like, holy crap, look at this introduction quality, look at this. This looks like Mandalorian, not much as the same level, but this looks like as much as the BBC could afford to do Mandalorian type technology or type style quality type of show in looking wise, because you open with a big action sequence, like a good big chase sequence with music that swells up. I was like, maybe they should do 6 episodes more often. Maybe if that's the standard that you're going to put out, maybe you guys should do that. Because here's the thing, yes, the introduction card is great, and yes, it's setting out, okay, here's Dan, here's the Sontarans, here's, Viper, here's, Claire. Even though I would say this, Claire's introduction should have been the Weeping Angel scene, which I would say, bloody hell, I don't know it's Chibnall, I don't know it's director and the editing or whatever the cause of this, but they found a way to make the Weeping Angel have a sense of dread again. And maybe it's because it's been a fucking while. It's been a while since we got the season. What's the last time we saw them? Angels Take Manhattan? I don't know, Time of the Doctor. But, like a full-on, here's a Weeping Angel statue versus, here's their arm. Because there's a sense of dread. And the craziness of that scene of, okay, there's a Weeping Angel right there. I can't blink, I can't look away, but I know I'm going to be safe when I enter into my house. Now my house is a 30-second walk. Now it's going to take a little bit longer because I'm walking backwards. Okay, I need to get my key. Oh crap, I can't look away and look at the key port. It's because of it, there is a sense of dread and a sense of come on, over the fucking door. There's a bit of that. Which I was loving. I love, the villains of this. What's it, Swarm, who's, the big bad of the season. He's, he's saying typical Doctor Who villain, lines like, trick or treat, Doctor. Like, maybe it's the designs of how they do it. There is a sense of joy. There is a sense of like him talking about there's a dance between them two that they've been doing for centuries, and the Leia and all that kind of stuff. And you're curious about, is he like the Master? Is he like this? Is he that? I mean, is it the Master, but it's like that time when the Master was some like creature guy, versus like looking like a regular human being. Even I know he's a tiny little bit, you know what I mean. When he was like kind of like this wiggly wop creature, you never know. Maybe they threw that thing in there. It's really put together, and then of course you got the character stuff. Like I love, like the Doctor being like, I'm doing everything I can. Hey Yas, we're doing this fun adventure, are we? We're doing all that, and Yas is like, oh, for God's sakes. Like, you're telling me, like, you're telling me everything but the one important information. Why this, why that, why are we chasing this dog, why are we doing this, why why you're so hits on this. And you're kind of like Yas a little bit. You are curious about why is that the case, the Doctor acting this way. Is it because of the timeless child thing, and because of it, she's kind of whipped into a whack and kind of not thinking straight? Could be. And, we got introduced to Dan. I mean, Dan, who's played by John Bishop, Dan's kind of like, you're introducing him in a most, typical way. It's like, oh, this is his family life. This is what his life is like, and all of that. But because there's so much of it, there isn't that much you can explore of him as a character yet. And hopefully in the remaining 5 episodes, or remaining 9, I think remaining 8 episodes, if you want to include the specials, that we get more depth towards him and get a more sense of why we should care, why we should make him more fleshed out, maybe, make him more of a character than just like the question guy, the guy who says, what's that, can you please explain that, please, can you play that, Doctor, can you please explain that, can you, like, outside of being that person. And so you need that because, the Doctor's the one who has all the answers most of the time, so you need that. But, yeah, the Sontarans are in this, which I was like, oh yeah, anytime I Google these Sontarans, that's what they look like in the OG version. Like, that's what the Sontaran looked like in the classic series versus what we probably so accustomed them to look like. And I love the whole thing of them saying, you're ugly, you're disgusting. Yes, I am disgusting. Like, saying, it's like them saying you're beautiful, but saying it's starting as that same context. It's just like, okay. But yeah, it's going to be a really great, the ending, I mean, and, the end of the fucking universe. Even the Doctor's like the ending scene is like the Doctor saying, oh my God, we're at the end of the universe. But it's so beautiful. Like, it's like the Doctor's like, I'm in terror, but also I'm amazed at the same time. This is a really well done, really well written. I mean, personally, I would kind of cut out also the scene where, like, you meet this couple and it's like, you only realize this couple got exist so the husband could get killed and Swarm could turn the wife into his like mistress or sister or daughter or whatever the situation is. So yeah, I was like this. Yeah, so there's a couple of things I would cut out as well, just a sense of pace and a sense of a less hinkiness. But yeah, I mean, what this episode is, it's starting out the groundwork. These are the key players. This is the main threat, and yeah, it's weird to be a side. It's weird to say the words. I'm looking forward to what's happening next in Doctor Who. It's weird because knowing that, next episode is always like, we're like, oh, that's good, but probably next episode might not be that good. And it's that weird feeling, and now we're at this point where like, oh, this is good again, this is good, and it's like, to quote the Ninth Doctor, it's fantastic.